Hello, and welcome to Tales from a Sex Store. I'm Hazel, and I'm here with my co host, Billy McWilliams.
Hello, hello.
Good morning, Billy. How are you?
Better to see your sweet face.
Oh, every day. I love hearing that. And every day I reciprocate.
Well, I love saying it.
Your smile is infectious. It's great.
It's crooked.
Good. It's perfect.
Yeah. So, I have a story, a tale.
A tail. Good.
So, a couple days ago, I came in just to get change, and I walk in, there's 4 or 5 guys, and they're just walking out the door, and I went, "Wait, wait, wait, stop. Let me give you a souvenir." If I say a vibrator, usually they shut down, but I'd start with a souvenir. So they come back, and they're all ag kinda looking guys, Montana. They don't have a cowboy hat, but they have the ball caps and the Carhartts and the things, and they're young men. And they're like, "Sure," which makes me pretty happy because I think after giving away vibrators for so many years at the university, because I think they're all young university guys,
Hmm.
they accepted them pretty readily. So, and they said they liked the sticker, the one that says I had an orgasm in Bozeman, Montana.
Good.
Yeah. And subsequently, 3 more of them came in, right? And I got a little bit of a chance to engage with them. But it started off a little rocky because one of them says, "Oh, so is this where the used toys are?" And it's like immediately set me off. I was like, I so set my cortisol up. Let's just put it that way. And I said sarcastically, "Yeah, they're all used." And then a little later, I said, "Why do guys always ask this question?" And I think to me, it's interesting because women don't ask those questions. Women don't say, "Oh, do you sell used toys?"
Right.
But guys always have to say something, and I think it's when they're with a bunch of guys together that they feel slightly uncomfortable, so they have to be sarcastic, and I think it's socially acceptable for guys to do that,
Right.
but it's a pattern, especially when they're guys. They feel the need to, like, flex that way. At one point, I'm like, "Why do guys ask the sophomoric questions? Or do they wanna get better?"
Right.
What changed it, though, is when I said, well, I was lecturing at a sorority and the women asked 2 questions. The first question was, how do I introduce toys to my partner? And how do I have an orgasm together? And then all of a sudden they're like, what's the answer?
Right.
So they want to know,
Yeah.
but how do you get there? And the big thing for me, and this comes down to shame, it's like, if I was being a real jerk to them because, they're being assholes, what good would that do except they would just turn us into that? Because I think they want to find an excuse to put you into that box, especially with a group, right? So how do you do that? I'm not saying being corrective. I think it's more like, how do you gently push them in a way to make them think in a different manner? And I'm happy because in the end, they all got vibrators. So 7 guys got vibrators. And I guarantee you a conversation be had, especially because I'm like, okay, here's a question, guys. Who gets oral sex first?
Yeah.
And of course, one guy yelled out something crude like oral sex for a woman, right? And this another guy says, I read she comes first. I'm like, fantastic. So it's like the seeds are out there. They just need to know that they can talk about it.
Absolutely.
And I think that the male culture is very resistant to talk about sexuality other than crude terms.
Right. Right.
It's normal, right? It's normal. And it's an inherent privilege they don't realize they have. And it's reinforced by the manosphere, which is deeply unhealthy for them.
The Manosphere?
The manosphere, the Andrew Tate-ish, you know?
Mm.
The traditional roles of men and women should be subservient and women are whores, those kinds of things. But I'm interested in getting to those guys.
Yeah.
And how do you do that?
So the Manosphere, that's first for me. That's a new phrase. Is that basically shorthand for the patriarchy or?
Well, I would say it's more like young men education.
Mm.
It's the Joe Rogan slash Andrew Tate slash MMA, very masculine presenting internet world. It's where the incels come from.
Gotcha. So red pill kind of adjacent.
It's very red pill, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what it is the with lack of comprehensive age-appropriate sex education, the fact is, who's talking to men about sex in a way that makes them more accessible? Nobody.
Right.
Not really. Not in a way. And I think that the very thing that got us into it is that shame-based stuff, like the punching down on them and telling them that they're rapists and they're crude men and they're awful. That doesn't negate the fact that men do stupid shit that deserves to have consequences. But just telling them they're bad doesn't help. It's not getting anywhere.
Right.
They're not growing
Right.
and they're not doing what I think they want to be. So you have to find a way of doing it. And I think the way of doing it is make it in their interest.
Yes.
Let them know that, like, hey, a vibrator helps you.
Yeah.
Giving sexual pleasure to a woman helps. They want to. Women want that.
Yeah.
Men want women to be happy. So what's the problem?
Right.
The problem is when you get into that world, it's so reinforcing and it's like, get off the internet and start talking to people.
Right.
And when I give away a vibrator, I can guarantee you those 7 men all of a sudden had a conversation about sexual pleasure for women, which is what they're interested in by and large.
Right.
Yeah, and who talks to them in a way that says, "Hey, you can be better at what you do." How do you break out of that?
It's not the default though. I think you're right that it's kind of the
Men are pigs.
no, it's the boys club thing, which becomes an echo chamber, right? It's
Right.
rote,
Yeah.
recall,
Yeah, and if you're anywhere out of the accepted norms, something's wrong with you.
right, which is also a rote script.
Totally. For example, if a woman buys a vibrator, she's hip and she's cool and she's connected with her sexuality. If a man buys a stroker tool, a fleshlight, or something like that, he's a loser who can't get laid. Same orgasm, different friction,
Right.
but it's still friction and still an orgasm. So
Mhm.
what? It's like the level of shame and sexuality is so high for men that it's like socially normal for women and men to shame men about masturbation and sex. Again, more sex toys that are stolen are for men. They would rather steal it to get in trouble than to actually buy it.
Right.
Yeah. So how do we fix that? Well, again, I think it's in their interest.
Yeah. I think that you're going into fraternity spaces and
Oh,
educating them.
I actually have never been to a fraternity. Never, not once.
Okay.
Now the fraternity comes into the store and that's kind of a flex on them, right? Because they want to make the guys feel uncomfortable. And they end up getting something good out of it, which surprises them, right? Because they weren't expecting that. And I think that's what makes that so compelling.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. It's illustrative that I can get into human sexuality class. I can give vibrators at Catapalooza. I can go into sororities. I can talk to women on a regular basis, including groups, right?
Mhm.
I cannot really get to a lot of men because I just think it's deeply uncomfortable for guys to talk to other guys about sex. It's not socially normal.
Right.
And one of them, I think the thing that's interesting is that men don't talk about sex because they don't want to betray the confidences of their lover. In other words, if she's doing something he considers slutty or wrong or bad, right? He doesn't want the world to know that she does that stuff. So he's, in his way, being the chivalrous guy who puts this woman on a pedestal. But it really is an excuse not to talk about something uncomfortable, and that is sex. And how do you break the ice for that?
Yeah.
You break the ice by saying, hey, you can be better at what you do, and that you're inherently a good person. You just need to do some things.
Right.
That I believe.
And then giving them a new script.
Right. And changing the culture where someone says, hey, man, you shouldn't be saying these things. You shouldn't be doing these things. I don't think guys realize how poorly groups of men treat women. And sometimes groups of men are very threatening to women.
Oh, yeah.
That's unhealthy. That's unhealthy
Absolutely.
for yeah, it's and it makes women angry, and it makes them contemptuous of men,
Very much so.
and then they don't wanna have sex with them.
Right?
And who's the men who are gonna step up and say, "Hey, there's a better way to do this."
I guess the ones who are a couple steps further down that path of education.
Right, and also understanding that they're okay. You're okay just as you are, and you wanna get better. You want a good relationship, you want better sex, you want more sex, you want sex at all. Well, how do you do it?
Yeah. So in the trans experience, they talk about going from being a pupa to a butterfly. And I feel like there's a difficulty in that, right? It's a struggle.
Right,
And you face all of the social problems that you will be facing. You face all of the religious fears and cultural differences, personal resistances, your family, your friends, your colleagues,
your whole world.
everything is getting
Yeah,
shifted up.
yeah,
And you're putting aside a script that you have lived your life by
right,
while seeing a thing that you wanted and were too afraid to go for.
right,
Purity culture, shame, things like that.
sure. The culture of masculinity.
Well, predominant culture. It,
Right,
it depends. Are you
right,
MTF? Are you F to M?
yeah,
Are you a woman who wants to be more sexually liberated? Or are you a woman who wants to be a trad wife? There are resistances to all of these decisions. Are you a man who wants to get better at having difficult conversations about sex?
right,
Are you a man who wants to learn how to please a partner better?
right,
Are you bisexual?
right. Yeah, what does that mean? Yeah, if you use a prostate tour, all of a sudden you're gay.
Right. And
Yeah, this is the point.
so there's almost an infinite number of ways that you can be off script,
Yeah.
but the script is the only safe place to be.
Well, I think that, like, I think we've talked about this before. It's like men have permission to have sex in our society.
Hmm.
What do you call a woman who is sexually successful?
Right.
There's not a positive word for it.
Not predominantly.
Right. Yeah. And men don't think about pregnancy, sexual assault, complicated plumbing.
And even if they do, it doesn't apply to them.
It doesn't apply to them. Right. So biologically, they don't think about it. And culturally, they don't think about it. And a man who's sexually successful is a stud. So all of a sudden, you got permission to have sex. You don't have the consequences that are with women, but your sexuality's got to be really prescribed.
Right.
Hypermasculine, heteronormative.
Right.
And that shuts off conversation about getting better. And it just reinforces all those negative things that women are this way and men are this way. And it's easy. It's an easy way to live.
Right.
And you get sex. But what you don't realize is you can get better sex and a better relationship. And I hope people can get that out of this conversations. Look, you can be a better person and be happier. Like you were saying, you have to change the script, become the brave person that you want to be. How do you do that?
Right. And then there's a really nice thing that happens when you do that, which is you find your real people
You find the intimacy and the vulnerability and the communication and the love.
and
Yeah,
community. You find a bigger community of people who have done that, but you didn't know that they were there. They were an invisible
right,
community to you because you were
right,
so focused
right,
on the fears of the prescription that you were living under.
right, right. That's one of my favorite things. My favorite things in the store is when people do something kinky or something and all of a sudden, boom, their entire world opens up like, wow. There's just a world of pleasure that is open to them.
Right.
And once you do that, there's no going back.
Right. Yeah. 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 I mean, there is. You can always go back in the closet
Sure.
to continue the analogy, right? Like you can always rejoin the prescription, the patriarchy,
Right.
the normativity. But would you ever be happy again knowing that the Wonka factory is just a decision away?
Right.
Go drink from the chocolate river. Just don't contaminate it.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
It's the Pleasantville thing, right? You go from this world of black and white,
And all of a sudden, poof,
everything's in color, and it's
yeah, and all of a
amazing.
sudden you're alive
Mhm. It's the
and you
Wizard of Oz.
see, you enjoy, and understand that there's all kinds of love. There's more kinds of love.
Right.
Yeah.
And your kind of love is out there, even if it's
Yeah.
heteronormative, but just
Yeah. Somebody wants to have sex with you exactly how you are.
right, right.
Yeah.
And
And exactly the way you want. It turns them on.
yeah. And if you want to learn how to be a better lover, sex partner, but you're worried about stepping away from the pack, you'll find support.
Plenty. That's one of the best things about the internet is it used to be you could not see anybody who's gay or know anybody who's gay. And it was all almost always on the down low.
Right. Or even someone who's straight but has a desire to, bringing it back to your guys coming into the store, finding someone who wants to support you in a more equitable relationship when it comes to oral sex,
Right.
pleasure, who comes first, all of these things, right? Like you were talking about, just like even on the heteronormative scale, not having to be that dude who says, are these all used? Not having to live under that script, right?
Yeah. Right. Right. That's an easy script. It's an easy thing to do. And it's hard to be vulnerable. And it's very, very hard to be vulnerable with a bunch of guys. But there are brave men out there who want and see it. And I'm hoping that like one of those guys had a little breakthrough yesterday.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but I hope so. Actually, after doing this for a long time, I almost always know something good will come from it,
Yeah.
even if it's a conversation. Yeah. Because I just really believe guys do want to do the best thing. I don't think they're evil, bad people. I just think they've been conditioned to believe all this stuff. And they think it helps them, but in the end, it doesn't.
Men aren't evil or bad.
No.
Most people aren't evil or bad
Yeah.
unless an individual
Yeah.
has proven through actions that they are, in fact,
A bad
one of the very few individuals who are irredeemably evil. And that's like, you
all
know,
genders and all sexualities.
it is. It's
Yeah.
and all races and all class
Yeah.
levels and all
That's right.
everything. It's the shotgun patterning of, unfortunately, truly irredeemable people, which is such a small number of people.
Such a small number of people.
Most people can find, if properly taken care of, but this is my socialism coming out, right? Like if we were to be able
You
to dump
commie.
I know, if we were able to dump an appropriate amount into education, mental health care,
Yeah.
you know, etc.
Yeah. We just choose to live poorly so rich people can act badly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, apparently,
Yeah. Right now.
right now.
But there's a groundswell.
There is.
And I think sexuality is a crucible of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have speaking of sexuality, so and being a crucible of change, I have some friends who are French,
Mhm.
and, there's the stereotypes about French and being sexy,
Yeah.
and sexy French also.
Yeah. Libertines.
Right. My friend keeps asking me when they should expect to see guillotines in our city squares. And I just have to keep reminding them that we have a militarized police force,
Yeah,
which
they're gonna stop
France
that.
doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, they just get shot.
Right. France doesn't have a militarized police force. They still serve and protect,
Yeah. Yeah.
with serve being
Yeah.
first. And over here, we have traffic cops with pistols.
Right.
We've got active armed escorts for whichever politician is temporarily visiting.
Yeah.
You know, you can hire the police. You can hire the police.
Yeah. Well, if you have enough money.
Right.
Yeah. Mm.
Uh, yeah,
Well, this got pretty serious, didn't it?
it did. Do you have something happy to talk about? I like bookending with happy things.
Uh, well, I just find fun when I'm working with clients.
Mhm.
I give them little coupon books of sexual adventures and they flip through it. And it has different scenarios like sex in public or sex in the shower or sex in a different position or a number of different sexual flavors. And I have them take that coupon and I say, look, take this coupon, write a time and a place, and you sneak that in your lover's pocket or purse to start the day. And then later on, you text and say, hey, did you look in your pocket?
Right.
And then they got to open it up and then they got to think about it all day long.
I love that.
It's so teasy. It's such a little
So
thing to do,
teasing.
right? One of those things that
Mhm.
just yeah, so they start thinking yeah. And then or I'm talking to maybe a woman and it's like, "Hey, put it in his pocket and when he's drinking with the boys, tell him this offer's good for 30 minutes. You can stay there if you want.
I love that.
Your choice."
That's
Yeah,
delicious.
and if they're late, deal's off.
Ooh,
Ooh, did you read it? Did you see? Sorry. Next time, maybe you'll be
wow.
on time.
Wow.
It's a it's a trainable thing, right? It's like, yeah. And then, somebody's like, "Oh, I've done that. Oh, done that, done that, done that." I'm like, "Oh, change it." Right? And if you're getting a sexual coupon book, don't give them the entire book. Just give them 1 or 2 at a time and rip out the ones you don't want, throw them away,
Right.
and change the ones you want. So, you don't have to do exactly the way they say it. Find your kink, find your fun,
Exactly.
surprise yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gamifying your relationship.
exactly. Yeah. Make them happy to see you.
Yeah. I think that's a really important thing that we don't do enough of, probably globally, but definitely in the United States. Adults don't play as much as I think that they ought to.
Right, and tease.
Right. Well, teasing is play. Teasing is
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Oh, and I think guys really like it when a woman just shows appreciation, and that just isn't done enough. And it goes the other way too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just but I think it's gotta be genuine.
Yeah.
Find the thing that you really like about them and let them know, "I really like this. I really like that.
Right.
That's sexy."
Right.
And that takes no money. It just makes somebody happier. And here's the other thing, they remember it.
Right.
Years later, they'll go, "Oh, yeah, they like this and this."
Right.
Yeah, compliment.
Mhm.
That's really good during sex too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Use your words.
Use your words.
Yeah.
All right, Billy. Well, thank you so much for yet another wonderful conversation.
Ah, it's so joy.
I think I think I saw that we had an email to the podcast email. So next time we'll have to look at that.
Okay,
We'll see if
and we're also gonna have a special guest on.
we're going to have a special guest on. Excellent.
Mhm.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Perfect. It's happening, everybody. The podcast has gotten to a place where we're going to start bringing people in.
yeah, and I can guarantee you they're fun.
Oh, yeah. We don't really associate with people who aren't fun,
No.
mostly because they can't deal with us.
Yeah. Weirdo.
Weirdo. Weirdo.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Billy. This has been Tales from a Sex Store. I'm Hazel, here with my co host, Billy McWilliams.
Happy orgasms.
Happy orgasms. Mental hug.
Not so long.